Hey, Allison Verhalen here, coming at you live for today's Marketing Monday. And today I want to talk to you. I'm going to do a quick book review. It's called They Ask You Answer by Marcus Sheridan. The full title is They Ask You Answer, a revolutionary approach to inbound sales, content marketing, and today's digital consumer. This was actually a book that I was surprised I had not heard of. I was in a networking event last month, maybe the month before, and someone recommended it to me. So I think because we were on a Zoom call. So I think while we were still on the call, I went ahead to Amazon and bought myself a copy of the ebook and downloaded it and started reading it pretty much right away. It is really good. It is, as the very long subtitle says, it is all about content marketing. It's not really a revolutionary approach, which the author Marcus Sheridan himself admits. It's not that revolutionary. It's really just, what do your customers want? And it's not new. Content marketing has been around for centuries, even though it hasn't always been called that. I think the term is newer. But the basic idea is, what are your people looking for? And it has changed the way the internet has changed the way we go about looking for information, right? So in the olden days, it was just maybe you had one or two local providers, and that was it. Maybe you would ask a friend or family member for a recommendation, and that was the one you went with. That last one certainly does still happen. And in some cases, if you only have one or two local providers, depending on what it is you're looking for, that might still happen too. I do know I get a lot of my business from referrals. I know a lot of other people who get their business from referrals. Still works. But for most of us, again, depending on the person, depending on what we're looking for, our first stop is Google. We're going to hop on Google, or again, with these days, with our virtual home assistants, right? We're just going to verbally ask Siri or Alexa for some information. And there it is. We have the information in front of us. So one of my favorite quotes from this book was that ignorance is not an excuse for bad marketing. It's a paraphrase. It's you can't assume that the person who you're trying to sell to doesn't have any information about what it is you're selling. That means that you have to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, because if they don't find it with you, they're going to find it somewhere else. And it's, again, kind of a revolutionary approach. It shouldn't be. It should be common sense at this point, but it has become kind of revolutionary because so many people shy away from talking about some of these things. So some of the highlights that I took away from this book are to price or not to price. This was something I struggled with because my business coach last year told me to take my prices off my website, and I tend to do what my coach says. So I did it. Her theory is you got to get people on the phone in order to sell them, because if you just put your price up on the website, then it's all about the price, and it's not about the value that you're providing. But I have since talked with other people who said they heard the exact opposite. They were talking to their coaches, and they were told that they should put their prices on their website. So I was always kind of conflicted, because when I go to a website, I want to at least get an idea of whether or not this is something that I can afford, right? Because if it's way out of my price range, I don't want to waste anyone's time hopping on a call and wasting both of our time getting to a point where I have to say, sorry, I can't afford that, right? That doesn't help anyone. And that's really what Marcus Sheridan is talking about, is the fact that, look, what do people want to see when they go to your website? They want to see a price. They want to see it somewhere on there. It doesn't have to be slapped all over your website, but they do want that information somewhere. So I have not yet, as of this recording, I have not yet gone ahead and added my prices back onto my website, but that is on my to-do list. Maybe by the end of the day today, I can take care of that. So I love that Marcus Sheridan just totally clarified that for me, right? It's not a question. It's not a pros and cons list. It's very simple. What do people want to see? Talk up the competition. This is another one that I have shied away from doing. A lot of people shy away from doing for obvious reasons. But again, people are going to do the research. They're going to talk to other people who are providing what you're providing. Why not own that discussion by creating a best of list? He created a best of list for his website for all the other people doing what he was doing, and he ranked them and gave them this prize that he made up. did not put himself on the list for a very simple reason: credibility. If people see that you put yourself on this list of best of, you automatically lose credibility. So he did not put himself on the list. But where are they when people are reading this best of list? They're on his website. And he's built that credibility. So of course they're going to buy from him. It also makes your competition look good. They see that you're talking them up, so they're going to link to that on their website, because why wouldn't they, right? That's a nice juicy backlink for your website. That's going to get Google's attention. So it's beneficial for everyone. That does lead me to something that I really wish Marcus had talked about, which is SEO. He talks about getting Google's attention. He started doing this in 2009 when it didn't take much to get Google's attention. He did not talk at all about in this book about keyword research, about how doing keyword research can tell you what people are asking about. I was really surprised there was no real talk of SEO strategy in here and using that to figure out what topics you're covering, just because it is so obvious to me that that's the basis of the title is they ask, you answer. Keywords tell you what people are asking. So create content that uses those keywords and answers the questions they're asking, and you do all the things that this book talks about. I do have to disagree with Marcus Sheridan on one point. He said it's always better to do it in-house rather than by outsourcing. The idea being no one else knows your industry like you do. I get it, but it's not that hard to get information. He himself said that, there is no original content anymore. Everyone else has already written it before. It's just putting it in an original way, right? And I totally agree with that. So when I'm writing about an industry I don't know about, I can do the research. I can interview my client and get the information that I need from them, and then go write the awesome content. I have seen so many people try to do their own content marketing. It's terrible. It's unreadable in some cases. They often talk about topics that no one cares about. No one is searching for that, but they care about it. So they assume that their audience cares about it. Having someone come in from the outside gives you that outside perspective on what people are looking for, what they want to see when they come to your website. And then the call to action, I've seen so many people either not have a call to action on their website, on their blog post, or it's completely unrelated to what they were just talking about, and it's not effective at all. So have to disagree with Marcus Sheridan on that one point. And like I said, I do wish he had talked more about SEO, but it just was not the focus of the book. The focus is what do your audience want to see, and how do they want to see it? How do they want to consume that information? Give it to them, and you're going to become the go-to person in your industry. And it's really that simple. So I love it. I love simplifying. I mean, even though he wrote a whole book about it and he did talk about all the different aspects of this, I just love that it is a really simple, really effective piece of an idea of marketing. So absolutely recommend this book. Super readable, easy to digest, super short chapters. So I would tend to read it when I was out with my dog and we would sit down and take a break, and I could just get through a chapter or two real quick and then continue on our walk, continue with my day. So absolutely recommend this book. And again, if you have any questions about this or incorporating SEO strategy into the content you are creating for your clients, or for yourself, I would love to talk. So again, my website is AV, as in my initials, Allison Verhalen. That is avwritingservices.com. That's it. Have a great week and happy blogging, everyone.